This podcast is a production of Cal Performances.
Charles Dutroit, thank you so very much for joining us. We're greatly looking forward to your performance with Jean-Yves Thibaudet and the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra this coming Saturday at Zellerbach Hall. We're thrilled that you'll be joining us, especially for such a thrilling program that begins with Kodály's Dances of Galanta, which is a tremendous tour de force for the orchestra.
Well, Galanta is a small village in the Puszta in Hungary, where Kodály was, and they have special folklore there. And the themes of these series of dances are all coming from this village, and that's why it's called Dances of Galanta Suite. As you know, Kodály, as well as his friend Béla Bartók, were very interested in the folklore of the Hungary and also the Romanian folklore, and they wrote a lot of music using popular themes from many provinces in those countries. Now, it's a very brilliant piece, which has something very special. It has an enormous solo of clarinet. Clarinet solo, which is very difficult, very exposed, and every clarinet player in the world knows that, because if they are looking for a job in an orchestra, it's one of those solos that they usually have to play in the auditions. Well, otherwise, it's extremely brilliant piece of music with these Hungarian themes, which sound sometimes a bit gypsy, and they're very typical of the Hungarian folklore.
Well, it's a magnificent piece of music. You know, Charles, I've heard you conduct it on many occasions, and I've always found your interpretation to be not only beautiful, but thoroughly exciting. So I can't wait to hear you and your colleagues in the orchestra play it on Saturday.
Thank you.
So the program continues with the A Major Concerto of Franz Liszt, playing with your dear friend and colleague Jean-Yves Thibaudet.
Yeah. Oh, we have done hundreds of concerts together. I met Jean-Yves on a cruise in the Mediterranean islands in Greece a long time ago, in the early 80s. He was very young. And, we have played since maybe 87 or 88, when we played first time together in Montreal. We've played hundreds of concerts all around the world. And it's always a pleasure. He's a very dear friend, very easy to be with and to make music with him. And I think we have a good chemistry together. And playing this Liszt concerto, which we have done also a lot, especially last year, because it was the Liszt anniversary. 2011 was the bicentennial of Liszt birth, and so we have done that piece quite a lot. As it matches actually also, it's a good program in the sense that Kodály and Liszt are both Hungarian, and they are the same influences in a way. There is something in the blood of Hungarian people which is reflected in their music. And
of course, it's a concerto that is substantial both for the piano and for the orchestra, which is not always the case in this area of repertoire.
Yeah, of course, it's a brilliant piece for the pianist, but it's also, the orchestra is important, and starts actually with the theme, with the woodwinds, which is very delicate and beautiful. And Liszt wrote a lot of music, of course, for piano and orchestra. One plays essentially now both concerti, one especially the flat major and this one, but also there is a Hungarian fantasy, there is a Totentanz, and many other things which are more rarely played. I find the second concerto more romantic in a way than the first one, which is more bravoure sort of style concerto. This one is more intimate. It's more, really more romantic, with very beautiful, slow moments and great colors and so on. And Jean-Yves, of course, has a perfect way of playing to produce these colors and to play this kind of music. It's always a pleasure to play that with him.
Indeed, the second concerto feels like it has a more lyrical quality, shall we say, than the first.
That's right.
And I guess that's probably the perfect way of following on to the last piece on the program, also one with a certain Austro-Hungarian origin, Brahms's First Symphony.
Yes, strangely enough, Brahms was extremely keen and enthusiastic about Hungarian themes and so on, and as you know, as we all know, he wrote many Hungarian dances as well. But living in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, in Vienna at the time, he was of course very much influenced. I wouldn't find so much influence in this particular piece, which is more famous for its big solo of horn in the last movement, which is a vague imitation of the Alpenhorn, which comes from the Swiss Alps, these long horns that shepherds play in the valleys in Switzerland. Even today, still played there. But what is interesting about this symphony is that Beethoven had written his symphonies, and he was so highly respected in the 19th century that young composers like Brahms and others were a bit scared to write symphonies. And he wrote many things, and his first symphony came out rather late. In the 70s, 1870s, late 70s, and which is always for me a good occasion when I do Berlioz' Symphonie Fantastique, which I do quite a lot, which was written in 1829 when Berlioz was only 26. And right after Beethoven's death, 2 years after Beethoven's death, and this symphony is a completely, although it was terribly influenced by Beethoven, of course, like everyone else, but it's a completely new style. And when you think that this symphony was written almost half a century before Brahms' first symphony, is kind of striking. And you see, Brahms actually has not brought to music innovation so much, but an enormous, a great, how should I say, he brought a lot of great music, but he never, like Berlioz did, open new ways in music like Mahler did right after that. And Wagner, of course. Brahms was more conservative, and he wrote his 4 symphonies, which is a kind of legacy in the history of the symphony with Bruckner, and kind of closing a chapter of the classical symphony in a way, before opening a new chapter with Mahler right after that.
Your insights into the Brahms Symphony are absolutely fascinating. I guess if we're looking for unique qualities in the music of Brahms, maybe it is the warmth of the sound world, the harmonies that really are unique. He's immediately identifiable, and maybe that is one of the great legacies of the 4 Brahms symphonies.
That's right, and all the themes are easy to remember, are easy to sing, and of course it's a music which speaks very quickly to everyone, and it's always beautiful to play that. Of course, every orchestra, every conductor, every musician likes to play the music of Brahms, whether it's the symphonies or the chamber music, which is superior quality, of course, the sextet and all these things, and the Requiem, the Deutsches Requiem, and many other things, of course, is great music of the 19th century.
Well, it sounds like the concert on Saturday is a literal reunion with friends from many, many years ago in London, and clearly from music that you've been connected to all your musical life, and of course Jean-Yves Thibaudet, who's a close friend. So I like to think of the program as a wonderful reunion this Saturday.
Yes, it's going to be great, and it's also going to be a good opportunity to see you again, that I haven't seen you for many years, and it's going to be really nice to be in Berkeley.
And we're greatly looking forward to seeing you again too.
Thank you very much, Matthias.
Thank you.
All the best to you, and I'll see you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is a production of Cal Performances.